want a piece of me?
Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Good morning, Vietnam! I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I feel the need for speed.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Love means never having to say you're sorry.
You do? You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
What up? Happy Tuesday, moviegoers. Welcome to episode 381. Welcome to F1. You're listening to another new episode of the Cine-Men Movie Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Juan, and I am joined by the cast, the crew, the pit crew. Zach?
What's going on, guys? The only person in the pit crew today.
The only the only pit crew, the only Brad Pitt.
Mm-hmm. So how we just made that work.
How has your week been?
It's been all right. You can probably tell by the sounds of our voices that we're just kind of like, it's only Tuesday. We still got 3 more days of this week left.
Top of the morning to you.
There you go. Go ahead and start drinking early.
No, it's just an energy drink.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't do that stuff.
No, I'm doing all right. Just life, you know how that works. What about you, man?
Life has gone, has surpassed everything that I've ever thought it would. But the only light, Zach, at the end of the tunnel is that me and you get to sit down and have a conversation about what we love. And that's movies. That's physical media. That's film. That's acting. That's the Golden Globes last night. That's Mark Ruffalo's very good speech. That's the new memes that Leo created last night. It's the NFL playoffs. It's everything we get to talk and that we love talking about. We get to cram into a 1-hour episode and just forget about this thing called life.
I totally agree with you.
So we can get into some movie news. We can kind of talk about some new trailers as well. If you did not listen to last week's episode, we have a very, very good conversation about Avatar: Fire and Ash. We came back with a bang. It's a new year. It's a new us, but the same good reviews. So go back and listen to last week's episode. We discussed Avatar: Fire and Ash wherever you listen to podcasts at. iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. You can also find us on www.prescribedfilms.com, hashtag the PFPN. You can watch us live on our Facebook channel, and you can watch us live here on the Imisawa Productions YouTube channel. Peace, love, tacos. So, Zach, we are back. We're done. We're past Fire and Ash. We're on to F1. The road to the Oscars start tonight. The Golden Globes were last night. There's some big winners that I'm sure we're going to talk about. So let's talk about that first, shall we?
Yeah.
What's probably your biggest surprise of the night? Because I'll tell you mine.
My biggest surprise, quite frankly, was Sinners kind of got put out. I mean, it won the best score and it won best cinematic experience or something like that, but nothing else, which really, really surprised me.
Well, I told you that was going to happen. Way back when, in April, when we did the movie, I was like, it's a 5 for me. It's a great film, but it's going to get left out. The surprise for me was Best Picture Motion Drama.
One about Hamnet, yeah. I mean, that was the one I think out of anything that Sinners could win, that'd be the one. But
and then Leo didn't get nothing.
Leo didn't get nothing. Frankenstein didn't get nothing, which really irritated me to death.
It grinded his gears.
It is. But yeah, man, I'm not gonna say the Golden Globes is the end all be all of what's gonna happen at Oscar time, but I mean it kind of sets like a roadmap of where we're headed. So
yeah. So it's very surprising. The director of Hamnet was also the director of Past Lives.
No, Nomadland.
Nomadland.
Eternals. Yeah.
Oh, never mind then. I thought completely different woman.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wasn't expecting that. That makes me hate Hamnet even more.
I mean,
I heard it was a good movie though.
Yeah, I've seen Hamnet. It's very deserving of some trophies through this film award season. Do I think it's the
Excuse
best
me.
year? I don't know. I'm pretty sure One Battle After Another has that wrapped up in a bag, which we will be talking about here in 2 weeks' time. Jessie Buckley won Best Actress. Timothy Chalamet from Marty Supreme won Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy. Tiana Taylor won for Best Supporting Actress for One Battle After Another. Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs, which I've never even heard of that movie till last night. And the Best Actor for Drama went to Wagner Moura for The Secret Agents. So
That's our Civil War guy.
it is.
Who won my favorite movie of the year last year.
So don't give away your surprise. Your number one of this last year.
No. Well, I'm talking about 2 years ago then, 2024.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Golden Globes were last night. What do you think about all the teasers we're getting for Doomsday?
I mean, me personally,
so far we've gotten Captain America, we've gotten
Thor, we got the X-Men,
the Black Panther.
Today we got the Black Panther or the Wakandians meeting one of the Fantastic Four. So clearly they're really setting the seeds for something like an Infinity War where they're just going to bring everybody out and play the deck and see what we get. I mean, me personally, I'm enjoying them. It kind of just cements that, yeah, this is going to happen. And, you know, we're on the road to Doomsday, as we used to say.
What do you think of the runtime being leaked of it being 3 hours and 45 minutes?
As long as it's entertaining, you know, we sat through Killers of the Flower Moon, and that was 3.5 hours, so 15 minutes probably won't kill us.
I think the action packed will be so fast paced it'll probably fly by.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait. We have so much to talk about in the next 12 months. It's going to be insane. It's almost like, where do we fit in the time? It's like, oh, let's just put out daily episodes. No, I'm just playing.
Well, you know, I was just thinking about that the other day. It's just like, you know, Doomsday is December 19th, I think. This year, I feel like this year is just going to fly by. Yeah. Not even for movies, just in general.
And then, man, we got a fun, packed month. And February coming up for you. If you guys want to get Zach some headphones, look at him. He has no headphones. Scan, tag, go. And you can hashtag put some headphones on Zachary. Don't forget, this episode is brought to you by San Marcos Mexican Restaurants, located at 2301 Southwest 59th Street in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. For to-go order, give them a call at 405-685-7773. Great food and even better customer service. Mention our podcast and get 10% off your entire purchase. Zach, let's talk some recent watches. I'm going to go through mine real quick, and if you want to talk about anything, we can. This past week, I watched a lot of football. I rewatched some 2025 movies: Thunderbolts, Superman, Brave New World, Fantastic Four, Sinners, Warfare. I did a compare and contrast with my daughter. We watched A Bug's Life and Ants. I forgot how graphic and brutal Ants was. And then I rewatched F1 for today's episode, or watched F1, and then I watched Begonia, Zach. I was super interested in it. You told me it was insane. Emma Stone was getting a lot of nominations for this, and I was like, let's do it. Jesse Plemons, one of my favorite A24 actors. Mind blown.
Mm-hmm.
Mind blown.
Yeah, that'll probably be a conversation in March or April, so be on the lookout for that. I was literally, I watched it before you, and I was texting you. I was like, dude, this movie is like unhinged on so many levels.
Yeah. So we're watching a bunch of 2025 stuff, getting ready for our big episode in March, and I just think it's been it's an insane year. So 2025 is a lot to catch up on. What
Yeah.
about you, Zach? Anything you want to recommend? I do want to recommend Begonia. It's on Peacock. If you have not seen it, go check it out.
Yep. So I did a rewatch of Weapons, which I'll be honest, actually does have a lot of rewatchability. Honestly, if you spread out your viewings of it, like it's fun to take the ride of how we get to the end of the movie.
I'm gonna rewatch it this week.
Rewatched. I went and saw Marty Supreme, which is Timothée Chalamet's like big, probably Oscar contender movie, and he is very good. I'll admit. Imagine. It's done by Josh Safdie. So imagine Uncut Gems with ping pong. That's essentially the movie you get. Just the unrelenting chaos of that.
Is it like based on a true story kind of thing?
I don't think so. If it is, it's like very loosely based. I don't think it's like based off any like real person. I don't think. I went and saw the Anaconda reboot, remake, whatever you want to call it. Not great, man. Not great. It's fun. It knows exactly what the movie it is, and so if you judge it off that scale, then you probably will have a good time with it.
How does the CGI snake look compared to the original? Because I know the one in the original was more like a horror suspense movie, and it was terrible CGI, but the horror suspense kind of kept you up with it. So is the CGI snake bad?
It's CGI. I mean, it's to be honest with you, I probably prefer the practical effects snake from the original. At least it kind of looked like a real anaconda. Is this thing on, which was Bradley Cooper's new movie with Will Arnett? It's about like a stand-up comedian who's going through a divorce. It was okay. I think I prefer his other directorial films of A Star Is Born and Maestro. And then rewatched Greenland with the Gerard Butler Meteor movie. Went and saw the new one. It's a lot of fun. But the movie I do want to recommend, which if you had asked me this about 6 months ago, I would have been like, no, looks terrible. There's no way that's good. Primate. About the chimpanzee dude.
Mm-hmm.
It is so much fun.
It's getting really good reviews.
I think the best thing about it is there's so much practical gore effects that it's so much fun. It's a bee creature movie, and it goes for it, and it's so much fun. So if you need to have a date and want to go check out a horror movie, go check out Primate. It's insane. So really, the first two big 2026 movies is in the can for me. So
which was Primate and Greenland 2?
Yep.
So I'm going to rewatch the Greenland. What did you think of the rewatch on Greenland?
I liked it, man. I don't know if it's the best natural disaster movie ever, but that was a COVID movie, right? Yeah. So I think I actually rented it on iTunes or something. It really, I still have the same like dread and just the unrelenting just fear of if a meteor was to strike Earth. I think it does set that tone really good. So
the second one is kind of like, what would it be like if we were to try to rehabilitate Earth?
Yeah, I mean, essentially the place where they end up in the first movie is uninhabitable. They can't stay there, so they have to trek somewhere else. So, chaos ensues.
Nice. So a lot of good stuff coming out in the next few weeks. I know it may not be an episode right off the bat, but the Bone Temple is getting some good praise. We talked 28 Days Later and 28 Years Later last year and the year before. Yep. So a lot of good stuff coming up. If you guys want to recommend anything, hit us up on the social media pages. Recommend something. Tell us to go watch something. Facebook.com/The Cine-Men Movie Podcast. The Instagram is all one word, The Cine-Men Movie Podcast. X is Cinemen405. Or you can send us an email. CINEMEN921@gmail.com. So, Zach, let's get into today's episode. Today, we are talking all about F1, the movie. starring Brad Pitt, Damson Idris, Javier Bardem, Carrie Condon, directed by Joseph Kaczynski. Also starring Sarah Niles, Will Maverick. A Formula One driver comes out of retirement to mentor and team up with a younger driver. You can currently stream F1 on Apple TV Plus with an IMDb rating of 7.7, Rotten Tomato score of 82%. The Metascore is 68%. The Letterboxd is a 3.7 out of 5 with a June 23rd, 2025 release date. With a $300 million box office budget, it grossed a little over $631 million at the box office. First off, this movie came out in the midst and in the havoc of 2025. Jurassic Park, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Superman, Fantastic Four. It was just thrown into the summer movies. I did not get to go check it out in the theater. Such a disaster for me. Zach, what was your experience like in the theater?
Yeah, so to preface this, I know nothing about F1. I just know it's a big racing organization, mostly in Europe and all over the world. It looked really cool. I was excited for it since it was from the director of Top Gun Maverick, Joseph Kaczynski. Brad Pitt,
Krasinski.
we're gonna play that game. No.
It didn't come with a slipcase.
I know, that hurt me. I did. So yeah, I went and saw this in IMAX. It was so much fun. Like, I'm curious about what your experience was, because it felt like they put you in the seat of the race car and you go. It's so much fun. I had a blast with it, and on rewatch, I had the same feeling. And so, yeah, those are my just general thoughts. What about you?
So on my rewatch, or on my watch, my first one-time watch, I'm just going to say I am disappointed I did not get to go see this in the theater.
Okay. I thought this was going to be a highest to low situation. I was like, uh-oh.
So given that take, if you guys have not seen this, pause us. We're at 18 minutes. Go check this out. It's on Apple TV Plus. Our conversation is about F1. Let's dig into it. I'm not going to be the Debbie Downer, but when it comes to a lot of the other racing movies or car movies, I was expecting a lot more from this movie. But I really enjoyed this movie. I just don't think this movie should have been or needs to be 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I mean, and that's probably the biggest, I don't know if I'd say gripe or nitpick or whatever word you want to use. It's not so much, I didn't have a problem with the length. I mean, I did, when I had to rewatch, I was like, oh God, I forgot this is almost 2.5 hours long. But I thought the pacing was excellent in it. My only gripe about it was probably, it's a very typical sports racing storyline, essentially. The pro comes in to teach the young one, and it's kind of a back and forth of who's the best.
I think that's the only small nitpick graph I have too. I'm going to be right there with you. It's a conventional. The old cowboy comes back to show that he can still straddle the horse.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if this movie was 2 hours, I would have had a lot more fun with it. Or maybe if some of the action, I feel like there wasn't that much on the line.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't a big payoff at the end.
No.
Like granted, he directed Top Gun Maverick, and that was just like a near perfect movie. But the payoff was so big at the end.
Yeah. I kind of agree with you. I think that maybe the point of it, because one of the character moments for Brad Pitt's Sonny Hayes is that he kind of goes from race to race. He kind of goes across the country doing race to race to race, and just kind of he wins the race and goes to the next one. I think by the end of it, I got so lost in just the competition of the two characters that when he wins the big F1 race at the end, in Abu Dhabi, it's just like, okay, cool, off to the next one. Wanted to go do buggies out at the beach. I was kind of like, okay, like, would you want to would you want to stay and mentor the young one a little bit younger, or
That it's kind of crazy. We're already talking about the ending, but the ending did throw me for a loop. I was like, really? That's how you're gonna end this movie? Like, you just got done winning your biggest career race. You tell somebody who you finally shared so many thoughts and emotions with. You didn't really tell her that you love her, and it ends. And it kind of felt like a generic, lazy ending to me. I mean, I get it. He's the old cowboy that goes from race to race, but the whole story leading him up to the finale is this is his moment to stick around, to earn his feathers, or to get his flowers. And this is the old cowboy's moment to finally wrangle in the girl and not have to look back and say, I regret that. But then he completely just does the opposite and goes and screws off.
See, like the first time I watched it, I was kind of in your shoes. I was just like, oh, okay, so it's just like, he's just done and that's it. He just goes on. But on the rewatch, I mean, on the rewatch of this time, it's very much telegraphed. It's very much like that's one of the strings at the beginning of the movie, and it in my opinion, on the second rewatch, it pays off. I wasn't like, oh, it wasn't like a downer of an ending for me.
Well, the ending wasn't downer. It was just like
you wanted him to stay with
the girl.
The girl, yeah. And like I kind of thought maybe,
which it does feel like a forced relationship. Like it was one of those you knew it was going to happen. Yeah, kind of like a force field. Of course he's gonna do something with the girl that's building his car. The only female on the team, of course, Brad Pitt is gonna do things with her.
Well, she wasn't. Well, she was the main female. The other one, the Jody girl, who's like on the pit crew, like they've had kind of conversations back and forth. Where she was the one that dropped the thing and he ran it over. And she was like, and he kind of came to her defense. It's like, hey, don't do that. I'm trying to earn my spot on the team, which I thought that was kind of a cool scene. I like that scene.
Yeah, very cool stuff. I didn't think I was going to like the character because in the trailers, I'm like, he's a little too, not only too cocky, but he seems like he's not believable. But Damson Idris, who plays Joshua Pierce, I probably butchered his name, but I think he was a really, really good young part in this film.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think I kind of agree with you. Like he's the cocky, like you said, the cocky know-it-all, like young driver who, one of the best scenes in my opinion. Jesus, why am I having a stroke today? It's in the trailer where he's like posing for the paparazzi, and Brad Pitt comes up to him and is like, did you win something? Because there's like 20 other drivers out there. Like, what'd you win today? I think that really cemented like a wake-up call for that character.
What's the other racing movie that came out last year? Gran Turismo?
Well, I don't think it was last year. I think it was the year before, but yeah, that was like one of the more recent ones.
That's the same thing, right? F1s, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. 2023, yeah. I remember Gran Turismo.
I like that one.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, the guy who was just above all be all in this movie, Javier Bardem.
Mm-hmm.
Is he just not the perfect actor in everything he does?
Man, whether it's owner of a sports car or he's brutally murdering someone in No Country for Old Men, that guy, he has range. Sometimes he doesn't pick the best projects, but he's a very quality actor.
He was the person that every time he was in a scene in this movie, I loved it. I enjoyed every single dialogue he had. I was just above the moon for him in this character, and I think he played Ruben to the T.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I could see him and Brad Pitt going back and forth like that in this movie. I could watch that all day. Yeah,
and to me, I thought that I think the director set out what he wanted to do to achieve this movie, he achieved with it being on an epic scale, just loading these race cars up with cameras and just letting them go, and just the adrenaline rush. Like when you're in the race sequences, you're in them. And it's just like when they're turning and they're about to crash on the wall, it's just like you feel. I wish I could have seen this in the 40X theater. That would have been a blast.
I wish I could have just seen this in the theater at all.
Period. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
this is probably my biggest regret of 2025.
And I really do wonder if like if you had seen this in the theater, if you would have been like kind of on the same level as me, or like maybe on the rewatch, you're like, I probably, it doesn't hold that same, like Gravity, the George Clooney, Sandra Bullock movie. I've never seen that outside the theater because I don't think it's going to translate over.
Well, see, I had the same concept. I'm like, man, I bet if I saw this in the theater, I would have probably loved it like I did Top Gun Maverick. Mm-hmm. And then I could not have waited to watch it at home to catch all the small stuff I might have missed.
Yeah.
So I'll probably like it a little bit more on the next watch. I'm not going to lie. It did take me 3 tries to finish this one movie.
And that's fair. I mean, there's something.
I had the kids. It was busy, chaos, a lot of stuff going on.
But I mean, next week not the next week, but the new week after, we're talking one battle after another. It's damn near almost 3 hours. I'm just like, ugh. That's probably going to be one that I have to break up into parts.
Another 2025 movie I wanted to kind of talk about and just bring to your attention. Have you seen the George Clooney, Adam Sandler movie yet?
Yeah, Jay Kelly. That was one of my watches the first last week. Have you got to see it yet?
Not yet.
Sandler
was at the Golden Globes. I'm like, wait a minute, did he get nominated for something I missed?
Yeah, got nominated. Him and George got nominated for their roles. I'm curious for you to watch it because I felt like it was very autobiographical about Clooney. And when you watch it, you'll be like, oh, I kind of see what he's talking about.
But it's based off of a fake actor, but / AKA George Clooney.
Yeah.
Was it kind of like Funny People, where it's based on a comedian, but not Sandler, but Sandler?
No, I wouldn't compare it to Funny People. No, I'll just say on the outset, since it's done by Noah Baumbach, who did Marriage Story, I don't think it's as good as Marriage Story. I'll just,
Ooh, interesting. I didn't know it was directed by him.
Yeah. In my opinion, you might come out saying, oh yeah, that's one of my top 3 of the year. So
yeah.
I think one of the coolest things about this movie, kind of going back to F1, is the soundtrack. I thought they had a lot of great songs. The Chris Stapleton song when he's like doing his like race interview, like where it's like, let's just see if you can beat Joshua's time. And then the end Ed Sheeran song Drive, I thought was a great capper to it.
Dude, speaking of music, the score from what's his name? Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer did, yeah.
I'm sitting here like when I was watching, I'm like, dude, I feel like Batman is gonna jump out any time. And I'm like, oh, that's Hans Zimmer. It sounded like I was watching The Dark Knight.
Hans Zimmer, man, it
was a great score.
How much time does that guy have in a day? I mean, honestly.
The cinematography I thought was really good. Like you said, some of the shots of them, the scene where Brad Pitt is getting in the car for the first time in front of the owner and Javier Bardem's character, I'm like, such a loud. This is just watching it at home. I could just imagine a theater, but him just getting the feel for the car was amazing. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much was practical, but when the race was in the when the race was in the rain,
that looked like they just that was like, oh, we're on a rainy track. Let's go ahead and get the shot.
Yeah, all that looked good. I kind of want to dig deep, and like I said, I watched it in 3 parts. I'm gonna probably go back and rewatch it this week and check out some of the special features. But I want to know if it was shot, like where it was shot at, because it looked like it was in front of a real racetrack.
I mean, a lot of the sequences are done on real F1 racetracks. F1 had a lot, they gave their blessing for the movie, and Lewis Hamilton is like a big name F1 driver. He was a producer on the movie. Brad Pitt is in the cars. They're not actually doing the real races, but like I think from what I heard is they would allow the crew to have, I think, 5 or 10 minutes before the actual start of a real race to go out there and get the scenes that they need, and then they would come back, and when the race was over, they allowed them to go back out again. So it's a lot of practical, like Top Gun Maverick. There's probably some CGI sprinkled in, but a lot of it's practical.
You think Brad Pitt did a lot of his driving stunts?
I want to say that he did.
Because he does have a stunt
coordinator,
yeah,
or stunt double, yeah.
Stunt
part
double.
of it. There's a part of me where I think it's probably one of those race drivers or cars that there's a driver in the front and the passenger in the back. So.
Dude, could you imagine if Tom Cruise did this movie?
Hey, man. I think it was like a week or two after the movie came out that they were interested, and I wanted to get your thoughts. Do you think they could do a crossover with Days of Thunder?
Is that a?
I think that's a NASCAR movie. I think I've never seen Days of Thunder.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't?
I've never seen Days of Thunder. No.
Dude, do yourself a favor. Yeah, it's a NASCAR movie, but I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, if Tom Cruise did this movie, he would be in there driving at 110 miles an hour.
Oh yeah, Brad would be. Brad was like, I think they asked him in an interview, it's just like, do you want to work with Tom? It's like, yeah, but I'm not hanging off the side of a fucking airplane. I'm not doing that. But that's one thing. Like, say what you will about him as a person, he'll get in the race car and do it himself. Like that's, I gotta commend Tom on that.
Brad Pitt, as he is older, he kind of looked like, in a lot of his shots in this movie, reminded me of Paul Newman.
Yeah, he
looked just like him, like Paul Newman did 40 years ago.
Yeah, I would totally agree. Isn't there a Paul Newman racing movie that's not cars, but like an actual like live action racing movie?
There might be. I know Paul Newman did a movie with Tom Cruise.
That was
Color for Money.
Color Money, yeah. But I think he actually owned a F1. It was either F1 or a NASCAR racing team, I think, at one point. But
Paul Newman?
I'm not seeing it on here, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I think that's something interesting is that Brad Pitt, I think the older he gets, it's almost like he just gets better, like a fine wine, if that makes sense.
Yeah. We were talking about him a few years ago. He finally won his Oscar, right, with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yep. I was thinking about, you remember that movie? That'd be a very interesting conversation. You remember that movie, The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford?
I've never seen that.
Oh, what's funny, I owned it forever, but I never watched it. But I think it's like 2 hours and like 40 minutes long.
It is pretty long. That's one of the main reasons why I have not watched it. Yeah. But yeah, I own it.
You know who I thought? I was just thinking about here. The main actor, Damson Idris.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of speculation if he's going to be the next Black Panther, supposedly to take over the T'Challa character. But you know who else I thought could have done that role was David Johnson from Alien Romulus and The Long Walk from last year. I think he would have done really good in that role.
Oh yeah, is The Long Walk worth it?
Oh, dude. I'll just, not to give away some of my list, but that'll be in my list of the best of the year. It's such. I have the film. I'll send you the digital copy code and try and watch it for next week. I'm curious to see what you think.
Going back to F1, I know we're kind of bouncing all over the place, but what'd you think of the love interest, Kate McKenna, played by Carrie Condon?
I liked her. I thought she was a very even keel to Brad Pitt's Sonny Hayes. I think she very much I like how she instantly calls him out. Like when he first gets there, it's like, dude, you're just like the American, like you said, the American cowboy trying to prove something. And
Yep.
I'm not buying it. And obviously she does because they quote unquote fall in love. I think another one of the great scenes is the poker scene where they're just kind of like she gets both of them in the room and says like, okay, tell me what both your flaws are, and they just go at it with each other.
This is one of those movies to where I say Top Gun Maverick is perfect. I love the fighting jet flying sequences, and they're really good scenes where they're not in the air.
Yeah.
This movie, I kind of had some difficulty with when they're not on the racetrack.
You enjoyed the race sequences, but not like the character drama.
I enjoyed some of it, but not all of it.
Yeah.
I didn't appreciate a lot how the mom, Bernadette, was like all over the place, if that makes sense. I didn't kind of like how she was in the tea but didn't know the flavor, and she didn't know the whole story, and they were kind of flirting with the idea of back to back, and Josh was letting him, he kind of let Brad Pitt take the heat for a few scenes until he finally got his mom aside and was like, hey mom, look, it wasn't his fault, it was my fault.
Yeah.
So some of that I'm like, maybe that's why the movie's 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I do I think that this movie could be cut down to a 2 hour, like a tight 2 hours, maybe 10 minutes, 2:05. Yeah, I would agree with that. But I think you do lose some of the character drama, especially after they play the potential race crash card twice. They do it with both characters, and to me, I kind of wish they had pulled the trigger. Honestly, I wish they had either done it with Joshua or with Sonny.
You
I
talking
think
about
it would have been much more of a payoff if it was Sonny.
You talking about dying?
Yeah, if they killed one of the characters off in the crash.
So see, the first crash where Joshua's car flipped multiple times and caught fire, I thought he died.
Yeah.
I was like,
the logistics of it, like in real life, is like, there's no way someone could survive that.
Yeah, I was like, he's dead. The car's in flames. It took Brad Pitt it took Sonny way too long to pull him out, but I'm like, oh, he survived. And I thought he was going to be like grotesque or something, but his hands.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think that could have been a really big payoff. They like you said, they did flirt multiple times, even going back to Brad Pitt's big scar. I did like the flashback scenes where it showed like a young Sonny. I thought those were done really well.
Yeah. And it also gave mythology to the character of like, why he loves it, but he's so, after his crash, it's kind of revealed that like, hey, if he does this one more time, he's dead. Like, it's going, his obsession is going to kill him, essentially.
This reminded me, I wish it had a little bit more dramatization in it, but this kind of reminded me of Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you, do you think that this movie is, because Ford versus Ferrari, I think that was in my top 5 or top 10 of 2019. I haven't rewatched it in a while and since then, but which do you think is the more superior film, Ford versus Ferrari or F1?
Right now, I've seen Ford versus Ferrari like 2 or 3 times. This is only a one-time watch. I'm going to say Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah.
But I think if I rewatched F1, Brad Pitt and Javier Bardem are so good. If I just watched it in one setting with no distractions, I think I would love it even more. My grade is not nowhere near as bad as you're probably thinking right now. So
no, I don't like you said, the way you kind of, I was like, yeah, I had the adrenaline. You're kind of shaking your head. I was like, oh no, we're going to go down that road. I will say that the Christian Bale, Matt Damon of Ford versus Ferrari is the same as Brad Pitt and Javier Bardem in this movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's a real fun movie. It's very deserving of. I'm surprised it didn't get more accolades than it has gotten. I mean, I would have thought at least Brad would maybe have got like a nomination, or even Javier Bardem. But yeah, I think this was like sandwiched in between I want to say 28 years later was the week before, and then like Jurassic World was the week after. So, it didn't get a lot of room to breathe during the summer months.
Yeah. Hardly any breathing room at all. But would you have a favorite scene that you'd want to mention?
I would say that the race, Sonny's race interview with the Chris Stapleton song, I think that really sets the mood for not the whole movie, but really adds to the atmosphere of the movie. And then the Las Vegas poker talk where they get them both in the room, and she just says, "Hey, tell me what each of your flaws are." I thought that was great chemistry from all three of the actors. What about you?
I would probably say I enjoyed all the race sequences. I enjoyed where Brad Pitt or Sonny showed up, and he got the thumbs down from Ruben, and Ruben was like, "You're done. All this health stuff popped up. There's no way you're coming back." And Sonny shows up with like his packet saying, "Nope, legally I'm here. I'm going to help y'all win." I thought that was a really good, touching scene.
What do you think about the? I think that I will say, I think this storyline could have been cut about one of the people on the board was trying to underbuy the company from Javier Bardem. I think out of anything in the movie, I think we could have cut that storyline.
Yeah, because that was just like
it's so minute that like there are points like, oh, I forgot that was even going on.
But it's also so like cliche. Like, of course, somebody's coming in and doing that.
Yeah.
Like not only is there this storyline of Brad Pitt and Sonny and Ruben and Josh, but now let's just throw this into the mix. Yeah, I agree with you. That could have been cut too. So
yeah, I mean, there are. I mean, I counted them. If you include like the opening race sequence at the 24-hour Daytona, there's almost 10, 11, 12, 10, almost 10 race sequences in the movie.
It's a lot.
I mean, there's like literally a whole section after Joshua has the car crash or the race accident. It's kind of like a montage of like race 3 from race 3 to 8 or race 3 to 7. It's kind of like set in a montage, which we don't need to be at every single race and dedicate 10 minutes to it.
Mm-mm.
So
not at all. Star rating for F1.
Man, I'm not gonna hide my hand, man. I'm gonna give it a 5. It's real fun. I think it does have a lot of rewatchability. You have great performances, great action, great cinematography with the race sequences. The soundtrack is awesome. And I mean, this movie did really well. I think it made like $600 million at the box office. So it did really well. I think as time goes on, I think it's definitely going to get more of a, now that it's on Peacock or not Peacock, Apple TV, people can go check it out and see for themselves. So what about you?
I'm going to give this movie a 4. 4 stars out of 5 for all the right reasons. Like you said, the racing sequences, the score, the cinematography, the practical getting in and just buckle down speed. The performances were great. I did just have some small, for making it a perfect film for me. The whole 2 hour, 35 minutes cliche storylines.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you know what? It's not just this movie. There's been a lot. Zach, I might have a hard time finding 10 movies that are just 5-star phenomenal monsters because there have only been a handful of 5-star movies for me this year. I don't know if I'm being just too harsh, or if things just haven't been grabbing my attention, or maybe there's a few movies out there that need a few more rewatches. But I'm having a hard time finding this, and giving some of these newer movies 5 stars.
No, man, I think overall 2025 was a great year for film. Honestly, I'm looking at I got 12 movies I need to watch before we get to our 2020 review episode. And I mean, I can tell you for sure, 5 of them will sure be on there. That those are 5 like star films, in my opinion. It'll be interesting to see what each of us have on the list because there was a great variety of films last year. So, but before we get to that, we got to talk about some Hitchcock next week.
Some Hitchcock next week. So next week we are back at it. Another movie from the IMDb Top 250. That is the theme this year. Whether it's one movie of the month, 2, 3, or all of them, it doesn't matter. But next week we're talking Vertigo. It's the last of the big 5 from Hitchcock that we haven't talked about. Zach, what are you most looking forward to about Vertigo next week?
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm really looking forward to this rewatch. I just wasn't impressed with it the first time around, so I'm really looking forward to seeing if my opinion changes on this. So, and I think this is the first time watch for you, correct?
First time full watch Vertigo next week.
Okay.
And then we will finish out January with one battle after another. I'm excited about this one. So I can't wait to talk about this one. February kicks off with a bang. February, we're talking about Wake Up Dead Man, which is exclusively on Netflix. The second week of February, we're talking about Good Boy, which is streaming on Shudder. The third week of February, we will be talking about When Harry Met Sally. And then we finish out February with another IMDb classic, Citizen Kane, which in some people's mind is considered one of the greatest movies, if not the greatest of all time. Me and Zach are going to have a very, very big discussion about that comment right there. So
yeah, February is going to be a great month. We're actually doing 2 classics. Really, we're doing 2 2025 films and 2 classics with When Harry Met Sally and Citizen Kane. I have not seen Citizen Kane in years, so that's going to be an very interesting conversation.
Did you get the Criterion that released a few years ago?
I did. It's in the closet behind me, so I got it all ready to go when we get to it.
Nice. I think that'll be a fun conversation. But I'm looking forward to next week. We're dusting off the IMDb classics, and we are getting into that discussion. We're going to talk about its ranking. Does it deserve to be higher, lower, and some other stuff. We're also going to have a top 5, Zach, next week. We are going to talk about our top 5 favorite episodes from the podcast from 2025. So, other than
last.
Don't sound too excited. Other than that, Zach, do you have anything else you want to talk about before we put the nail in the coffin with F1?
No, man. Go stream it on the Apple TV Plus. You know, there's plenty of stuff. There's actually a lot of great content on there. F1 being one of them. Killers of the Flower Moon, which we discussed a couple years back. So yeah, go check it out. You excited for some Hitchcock next week?
I am excited, man. I think it's gonna be a fun top 5. I can't wait to talk more movies with you next week. And we'll talk Vertigo on another new episode of the Cine-Men Movie Podcast.
Bye.